Your first class. Your first class is Commercial Heifer, shown by Lexi Wittenberg, and Clint Sexton is judging.
Enforce them. Okay, welcome back here this afternoon to our beef show. We have a single entry to start off your FFA show. January heifer, one that you really have to admire her substance and stoutness. Big foot under this female, lots of shape and curvature in that rib cage. Love the amount of muscle that she has. We might soften her up in the way she moves off those pasterns and legs. One that you'd maybe like to make her bigger, which she already knows that, but one that's got a cool look, keep breeding her that way, improve the length of skeleton, more up-headed in your mating, and I think you've got a nice project to start off with. Congratulations.
Class number 2, Commercial Young Cows, shown by Lexi Wittenberg.
another single entry for this young lady with her breeding project. This is a cow nursing her third calf at side, and one I think you have to admire. She's one that's structurally sound through the angles and the joints. It's through her shoulder and her front pastern. We might like to level her from hooks to pins. I think for her age, she's more than acceptable in terms of udder quality, and when she's out here in her working clothes, there's surely enough volume, really fancy and attractive in terms of that front third. Good single entry. Let's give her a nice round of applause. Congratulations. While we have a minute here, some of you he's on the phone right now, some of you are recognizing, but your representative from this district is sitting here watching the beef show. One that's really working for you, doing a lot of good things. He had a lot of good comments last week at Oregon Cattlemen's meeting. If you don't know him, I would encourage you to get to know him. He's doing a great job for your area.
This is the commercial cow-calf pair. Both of the entries are brought by Lexi Wittenberg.
Both these pairs are from the same exhibitor, and I think a really nice pair of cows that she should be proud of. I prefer this crossbred pair. The black cow, I assume, is a purebred, has a really neat kind of crossbred heifer calf at her side. And like I was just telling the ring help here, I said she's probably wishing that was a steer. Like the shape that she has structurally, that calf's really nice. Has a tremendous amount of balance and the squareness in that calf. You really like that, and I think that's probably what weighs in my decision to use this pair. Is that calf's really neat. The Hereford pair will be second or reserve in this division. Really good teat structure on that cow. Very sound, attractive cow on the side. Very feminine. Maybe not quite as much milk production in her as calf's maybe a little bit behind in terms of growth and condition. But very nice pair. We're going to use the black crossbred pair to be first and the Hereford pair to be second. Congratulations.
Class 4 is overall commercial female. Can I have um, the winners from all the previous classes please return?
One class, yeah. One class. Usually would show that heifer calf independently, so he could be, I don't know. You ask John. I don't know. What'd you say about you don't make the rules? Yeah. Yeah, so 3 entries. Yeah.
Okay, for a selection of your commercial female, you have the 3 classes represented. You have the cow as dam, and then dam and produce, and then you have the bred heifer. I think all 3 good representations of what this young lady's doing, especially maybe in the club type projects. Phenotype that she's getting out of the cow with this blonde heifer calf, and maybe this gray heifer back here is a progeny of the cow. I didn't ask that, but same kind of phenotype. Some bone to them, some shape of rib, some shape of muscle. For me, the type that goes together, and whenever you see a cow that's nursing a calf with that much quality, it's hard not to use that dam and her progeny together to be your champion. And when we look at them in all considerations, the gray heifer is not settled with a calf at this stage in the game. So you reach back and use that cow as a single entry to be your reserve. Let's go ahead and give them a nice round of applause. Congratulations.
Did you get that? The commercial pair is grand. And reserve is not the cow by itself, it's the black cow. So whatever class 2 is reserve. I don't know what classes are yet to come. She's a cow calf pair, so she's in the cow calf pair class. No.
Your Class 5 maintainer cow is presented by Emma Richards.
As she pulls her up into place, here's a female I think it stands some competition out here. Maintainer, which means they're a percentage main and percentage of something else. This heifer just has a lot of the right foundational traits. She's sound on her feet and legs. I think plenty of body volume. She's more than acceptable in that femininity. I'd call her average at best in terms of growth, but just comes together in a real complete package. She could stand more competition out here. Give her a nice round of applause. Congratulations.
Your breeding class 6 is presented by Fallon Gore.
Single entry again, one with quite a bit of quality in my opinion. This is a Charolais composite heifer, one you have to admire for her age. She certainly got quite a little performance, but that's not where it starts. For me, this femininity, shape of rib cage, really a fresh appearance, and yet she's pretty functionally sound at all angles when you study her out on the move. Maybe a little bit tighter in those rear pasterns, but maybe that's just pushing on the halter. But she's one that's got a really neat look to her, a lot of future and quality in that one. Congratulations. Give her a nice round of applause.
Your Hereford class is presented by Lexi Wittenberg.
a horned Hereford heifer here, a good quality one. In my opinion, she's an April. I'd say she's right there in terms of her growth rate. Very attractive on the side, super broody, and a very maternal appearance all the way through. She moves out and covers that ground well. In there, if I could change anything about her, she tends to rest her weight on the outside claw behind. You could just even her up and get her a little straighter in there and column of bones behind. She'd step down and press off a little more even foot size when she goes away. But there's one that's attractive and got a lot of broody look to her. One that we'll see back here. Good quality. Give her one more round of applause. Congratulations.
Your Hereford Young Cow is presented by Lexi Wittenberg.
Again, a single entry. The class label is Young Hereford Female. This is actually the mother of the April heifer we just saw leave in the last class. And you can see those kind of traits that she passes on. Feminine and attractive from the side view. Balances up pretty well from top line to underline. As I talked about the structure of that heifer that just went out, the cow does the same kind of thing. She tends to hawk in just a little bit, put a lot more pressure on the outside toe, and she goes away from you behind. But one that has a nice udder quality in terms of teat size, just a very maternal appearing, easy doing kind of female. Congratulations to her on a single entry. Give her a nice round of applause.
Class 9 is your overall female, presented by the winners from the classes 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Oh, it's blocking the video, huh? I bet it is. You know, we might do that.
Let's start by giving them a nice round of applause. A couple neat observations I see here is number one, there's a whole lot of you out here sidelines watching the breeding show, which is pretty uncommon. The number of shows I get to judge at the county level, so I commend you for that everybody's here taking part. The second part that I think is very noticeable, and one of these participants owns every one of the animals except one, I think, is these cattle are all prepared to be here. There's lots of times that you come and do county things, county contests or shows, and because we don't get paid immediately, maybe we present those cattle in their working clothes, or maybe don't present them always at their best. And I would like to compliment Jefferson County for presenting your best. The quality out here is something to take notice of. There's some differences, but there's all good pieces in every one of these, and they're taking it to heart to grow their own cow herd, and I appreciate that. I hope there's no secrets out there. We're just looking for one that's functional, feminine, has some body volume and rib. We want them to breed up and calve early whenever your calving season is, and we want them to do that with some flesh and ease and structural soundness. And each one of those does that to some level of and degree of rightness, if you will. The one that suits me best, the one that has the best combination, and in my eyes maybe would go on and see the most breeding potential in them, is the white heifer this young lady's leading out right now. She'll be your champion female. Congratulations. And this young lady's not leading what I would select as reserve, but I would say your pair in this regard would be the reserve. Take notice of that heifer calf. Like I said earlier, she probably wishes that was a steer. There's lots of quality there. She'll be very competitive down the road as a steer, but she has a very nice one in terms of a breeding project for future years to come. Congratulations again. The young lady with her pair will be reserved.
Please give a big hand to your judge, Clint Sexton, and the awards were sponsored by JWR Cattle Company and Gore Cattle Company.
All right, we're going to get ready for the 4-H beef show, or breeding show. We got just a couple minutes. They're getting stuff put back in order, hopefully, back there. We did have a computer glitch, so bear with us if we kind of stumble through this, because we're trying to make sure that all the kids get to show. Not all of them got entered in the computer system. All righty, our first class of junior heifer calves is Desi Simons and Josie Jacobs. And I believe we have all crossbreeds except one Simmental heifer going to show today. So we're going to show them all together.
Okay, and your heifer calves, junior heifer calves, we have 2 entries here. And I think 2 nice females. Looking at them kind of in a young stage. Both of them are April, May age group. We're going to start off with the smoky colored heifer. Just see a lot of broodiness potential in her. She's sound on those feet and legs. Maybe getting a little more out of mother in terms of milk production, maybe other supplemental feed as well. But just how's that look is going to do really easy as she goes on. The Angus cross heifer, I think, is doing well. She's sound on her feet and legs when she gets out. She has some angularity to her. She's maybe behind in terms of that performance or condition as I compare her to the white heifer, but 2 good entries. Give a nice round of applause and congratulations.
Okay, your champion junior heifer calf is Desi Simons, and your reserve is Josie Jacobs. Our next class, we actually have a purebred Simmental heifer coming in, which is Connor Commingore, and the crossbred heifer is Desi Simons. We're going to let them show together, but we'll have a champion Simmental female and then the crossbred heifer. Okay. So in this class, we have Connor Commingore with his Simmental female, and then we have Desi Simons with a crossbred female, and Casey Cash with a crossbred female.
Okay, we're going to talk two different separate classes, and then we'll also pick a division. The young man showing the Simmental heifer, she's a May born. This is your summer division heifer that they have settled back in calf, and for her age, that's good. Very moderate. One that's got a lot of cowy appearance to her in terms of rib and volume. I think she's got an ample amount of bone and thickness. Maybe gets out and moves just a little bit tighter in her structure. One, if you're going to breed her to improve on her, you'd loosen her up right down her top line, maybe set her up a little bit higher in that pin setting. But I think very functional and a very competitive heifer in her own right. The two heifer calves, a July and an August, I believe, two that are coming along well in terms of their growth rate and pattern. I prefer the Smoky heifer, just a real cowy appearance in that one. She will be almost too easy keeping. She's so deep and easy doing, but attractive yet in terms of her femininity. Her broodiness, we might tighten her up in that dewlap and navel area cosmetically to keep her just a little bit more feminine and attractive. The black heifer, I see her just a little bit longer bodied. She's very extended in that skeletal makeup. She gets out and moves off those feet and legs well. Different body condition on that heifer, but I think more than the ample amount of volume carrying through her rib cage and width of structure. So with that said, in that class, the Smoky heifer will be first, the white-faced heifer will be second, and in division, we're going to use the Simmental heifer to be your division champion for the summer class. And then the Smoky heifer will be reserved. Congratulations. Give them a nice round of applause.
Alrighty, your champion in the summer division is Connor Comingore, and reserve is Desi Simons. All right, moving into our next class. We have a junior cow. We have Josie Jacobs, Casey Cash, and Desi Simons. We just need her. Casey, do you have your senior yearling?
Single entry that is a fall heifer. As I said, the first thing she walked in the ring, at least you can see right away that she's pregnant. She's not very far off from Kevin, maybe 5-6 weeks. Attractive, feminine, sounder structure. She's one that, depending on what kind of pasture condition she's on, she's maybe not going to have as much volume left after she has a calf. Hopefully she's going to put all that into milk production. Udder quality coming on the female is very much acceptable for a commercial type female going out into productive circle in her life. And just a lot of foundational traits she's doing right in terms of soundness, femininity, reproduction's right. Let's give her one more round of applause. She's a single entry and the champion in this division.
Alrighty, your champion yearling heifer is a crossbred heifer by Casey Cash. Moving into the next class, we have junior cows now. We have Josie Jacobs, Casey Cash, and Desi Simons. Three, I think. We'll see what. Yeah, our young cows. Here comes Beth.
Two useful young females here, both out in kind of their working clothes, and a lot of times that's where you can see the most good in one. I'm going to use the gray cow just in terms of her flesh needs, her moderate size. One I think could go out and work in a lot of different kinds of environments. Is she perfect at this stage in the game? I'd say probably not. I mean, I might say if she's on the irrigated pasture all the time, her udder quality might change pretty rapidly with some age. I like the teat size, maybe just a little bit deep for a young cow this stage of the game, and she sets down just a little bit different on her hind feet than what I think is ideal. But foundational traits, big-bodied, easy-doing, one that'll probably breed back every year. The attractive extended one is this one, the Black Angus cross heifer. She's putting everything she's got going on into racing that calf. I think good in terms of teat size, maybe just a little bit long in those front teats for me. One that I think still gets out and covers the ground acceptably well on her feet and legs. Just like to see more total dimension and with the skeleton in that one to beat your gray cow in this class. Let's give those two exhibitors a nice round of applause. Congratulations.
Alrighty, winning your junior cow class is Desi Simons. Second is Josie Jacobs. Those cows will come back in. Or Desi, you'll have your cow come back in for the champion drive. All right, next up, we have senior cow, Casey Cash, has 2 entries.
Two entries for this young lady, senior cows, to calve here yet this late summer or fall, and 2 useful kind of females that are in their production years, where they maybe start finally making you some money. I'm going to use the more moderately sized cow, primarily just her extra femininity and angularity up through her front end. Her hip structure is more attractive from the standpoint of levelness from hooks to pins and allows her to set down more correct as I like to see him on that hind leg, and I prefer the udder structure of that cow. I would guess more total performance comes out of the cow that I'll use in second. She's pounds heavier when you look at her today, full of volume and shape of rib, more substance of bone. She steps down on that bigger foot. Beyond that, she's maybe not as attractive or as balanced through her front third and is more off from hooks to pins than your class winner. 2 very good ones. She should be proud of her project. Give her a nice round of applause. Congratulations.
All right, first and second place goes to Casey Cash. Now we'll have our cow-calf pair. We have Desi Simons and Josie Jacobs.
I think she'll follow. Two entries in this class in your junior cow-calf pairs. This is how they placed in their respective class. Time will tell here which one's more efficient. If you put them on the scale, I think the cow in the front's probably going to yield the most weight here today, but not because of that. She has more volume and she's easier fleshing. She's passing that same kind of phenotype on into her calf. The black cow, I think, is pushing the same kind of pounds out there, but doing with less amount of condition on her. Still, again, very attractive, easy doing female. The one that can get around and cover country easy. Let's give a nice round of applause. The gray pair will be first and the black pair will be second. Congratulations.
All right. Your champion cow-calf pair is Desi Simons, reserve is Josie Jacobs. Moving into our supreme 4-H female. All right, moving into our supreme female. We have out of class 1, Desi Simons with her junior calf. Class 2, we have Connor Comingore with his Simmental female. Class 3, we have Casey with her senior yearling heifer. Class 4, we have the junior cow, which is Desi Simons. Class 5, we have the senior cow, Casey Cash.
Okay, we bring the balance of your 4-H breeding projects together here to select a champion and reserve, and I think we're represented by 3 different families here, or 3 different families. Good cattle in each herd that I see that they brought to us. The crossbred pair, just efficient. One could turn out, probably do the job out in any kind of different environment, and I think do it fairly efficiently. The young man's white-faced heifer, for her age, I think there's quite a bit of performance and shape in that one. I think there's a lot of potential in that one in terms of breeding her different ways. Whether you're trying to make a market steer to come in here and win the show in a year or so, or try and make females bring back and show in this prospective division. The 2 Angus cows both have the Freeze brand on their hip, and whether that means anything to you or not, those just don't happen real easy. Whoever's doing that does an excellent job. And they're very similar, and I would compliment the breeders on that. Attractive, long-bodied, useful kind of cattle. Convenience traits like feet and legs are very correct. The udder quality on these 2 in particular are correct. Those are things that we, a lot of times in this industry, are taken for granted. So don't ever quit doing those things right. In this class, I think it's a little bit of a tougher decision. For me, I prefer the prospect of this black white-face heifer to be your champion. Just love her shape and her volume, the foot size that she has. She'll be champion, and the Smoky pair will be reserved. Give a nice round of applause. Congratulations to your 4-H beef group.
Alrighty, your champion female goes to Connor Comingore, and your reserve to Desi Simons. That will conclude our 4-H female show. We will resume in this ring at 3 o'clock with Meet the Judge for sheep, and then roll into the Market Lamb show. Members heard. We have Casey Cash and Desi Simons.
First, I'd like to compliment these two young ladies on herds that are super consistent. I said a minute ago about things that you're doing right in terms of quality of udder, functional traits, those things that you can be focused on a lot of other things, and those things fall to the wayside. And I think you have those captured in the females we see out here. In the gray ones, I think you're doing the same thing. All those cattle are moderate size, have a lot of ease of durability to get around this ring with functional traits on their feet and legs. There's some zipper things that you might change in both groups, yes, but we're always continually trying to make them better as we breed them up. So the young lady with the gray group, they're going to be number 1. The young lady with the blacks will be 2. Give them a nice round of applause. Congratulations.
Your champion 4-H members herd is Desi Simons. Reserve is Casey Cash. Now I believe that will conclude the show of that, and we're going to move into the Kathy Johnson female memorial. For those of you who don't know, Kathy passed away a few years ago of cancer. She was an avid cattle showman, loved shorthorn cattle, showed across the country, and really believed in kids having their own herds. So Scott and Tracy Downing donate a halter every year. They had a tragedy in their family within the last month and did not get the plaque made for the halter, so that will come. But this is a Kathy Johnson memorial, and it's your breeding female. So it can be FFA or 4-H kid that have breeding females. Alrighty, entering the ring we have Lexi Wittenberg, Desi Simons, Casey Cash, and Josie Jacobs with their bred females for the Kathy Johnson Memorial Breeding Project.
this is our final class, and I believe to qualify for the memorial to Kathy, who had advocated for youth the whole time she was here in Central Oregon. I judged a lot of cattle that she either raised or helped kids put together and take down the road. She really was passionate about doing this, and hopefully I can see that's in this county for sure in the beef project. Complimented earlier on that, and I'd want to say you should be proud of that. Out here in the ring, I think you could give any one of these that award because they're out here, they're working hard, they're taking a breeding herd forward and doing it with their own bloodlines, and we appreciate that. For me, my preference is this young lady with the Hereford heifer. I think she stands out here in terms of quality, and she also should be the MVP. Anybody that walks around with that much sawdust in your socks should get some kind of special award today. Let's give her a nice round of applause. She showed a lot of them with that boot on. Congratulations to all of you.
Alrighty, your champion, Kathy Johnson Memorial breeding female is Lexi Wittenberg. All right, thanks girls for participating in that. I know it means a bunch to Kathy.